Good evening, dandies. Welcome to Undetermined, the podcast.
To get into my seat, I have to like pull the mic up.
I just imagine some like Mad Max, looking scenario. He's steampunk like sort of things rigged up where
Two men enter. Well, Rich, thanks for joining us tonight, man. It's been a while since we talked.
Yeah.
Yes. Rich Yarges, everybody.
Couple years, I think.
Has it been a couple years? We've been doing this a couple years.
Yeah, it's been a year and a half anyway.
Yeah, I guess so.
It was before all the shit went down, and that's been a year now.
Yes. We'll have a pre-apocalyptic and a post-apocalyptic episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in Minnesota. How are you doing with all that up there?
I am. We're doing fine, I think, because we usually get sequestered during the winter.
Yeah.
Staying inside and not going out, I don't think initially bothered us as much.
Yeah.
I mean, we still go outside, but, you get used to not spending a lot of time outdoors.
Right. Is that why people start doing like the polar bear plunge and shit? They just are desperate to get out of the house. All right, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go jump in ice water.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little surprising how much people actually do outside, though, when it's cold here. Everybody goes on walks still, and, a lot of cross-country skiing and obviously ice skating and hockey outside.
Yeah.
You kind of have to embrace it.
I have a friend who grew up in Alaska. I asked her, I'm like, what do kids do for recess? Is there just a bunch of shit set up inside for them? And she's like, oh, no, they go outside unless it's like, 20 below.
Right.
They're outside.
Yep.
And she's like, we prepare for that shit here.
Yeah.
We know what to do.
Yep. You go outside.
You do. I grew up in northern Illinois anyway, like right on the Wisconsin border, and not quite that far north, but north enough, that winters were long enough. So, yeah, that's what we did. That's a good point. My wife always says, like, my God, how do you guys get out in this all the time? We had this polar vortex blast.
Right.
And I was like, well, up north, we just, we play euchre and we stay inside on days like that. We try not to go anywhere. But if you do, you got a snowmobile too,
Mm-hmm.
Which usually helps. You can get places. And they take care of the roads and shit up there, though. It's a big difference.
Yep, they do.
They don't do that here at all.
So, Pop Mechanics, what's been going on with that?
Yeah, man.
We played our last show February 22nd of 2020.
Happy belated anniversary.
Yeah.
And I only remember that because it's my son's birthday. That's the last time I've seen all the guys.
Wow.
That sucks, man.
I've seen Rob twice, and I saw Jim in the parking lot once, and I haven't seen Pete at all.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
You're used to getting together once a week, and we can't, unfortunately.
But you're still working on writing shit too, right? New stuff. And
yeah, I've written a lot. So right before the pandemic, I bought a new Hummingbird Gibson acoustic guitar, and
Nice.
dang, it seems like every time I sit down with that, I write something. I think I have 17 new songs.
wow.
It's funny how just finding the right piece can really pull things out of you. It's really interesting.
Yeah, right. I'd never had a really nice acoustic guitar, so I finally just jumped in and bought a really nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the pandemic has kind of given people a little bit of license to spoil themselves a little bit.
Right.
A, I'm stuck at home all the time. I deserve something. And B, I'm not traveling that much. And I'm making meals at home a lot more.
Right.
So that's saving me money. We can justify it in those kinds of ways.
Yeah. Justification anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking about like once this shit is over, everybody's going to be like great cooks. I'm looking forward to get invited over to people's houses because I know my cooking game has definitely improved in all of this. And I'm guessing I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm learning a lot of Italian cooking. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I just got a new smoker
Oh, yeah.
last week, so that's going to be my new venture.
Sweet. I do a lot of that. Big Oklahoma Joe, big offset thing.
Nice.
So, yeah, I fire that up quite a bit.
What's your favorite thing to make?
A lot of ribs.
Ribs.
Yeah. You do the dry or you do the wet rub, smoked?
I do like a weird, like a lot of brown sugar in the rub, so it kind of makes it like its own kind of sauce as they smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it gets kind of gooey. And
So I don't really sauce them until after. I just do keto like Kansas City. They always got sauce on the table, so we just kind of do the same thing. You put the sauce on
Yeah.
at your leisure as you're eating them.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. If a rib's good enough, man, I don't need sauce on it if it's done right.
Yeah, it's true.
I always thought like Colombia, anyways, got a really kind of weird convergence of styles on barbecue, just because being like halfway between St. Louis and Kansas City.
Yeah.
We get both, or and then Memphis a little ways off, and then Chicago is just like it'll be all over the place, but it's kind of a mix between both.
Right.
I don't know. I like smoking stuff with dry rub, though. I think that's my favorite game. Yeah, like doing a brisket or ribs,
Definitely.
wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, those wings you were making the other day, Matt, looked like they were on point.
They were good, man.
Were they?
They were really good. I was proud of how those turned out.
Awesome.
What'd you do in the? Did you use that Worcestershire powder and?
What was it? I used just a recipe I found online for a rub. That's all I did. I let the rub sit on them for a little while. It was a bunch of spices and put them in an olive oil for a little bit, and then put in all the spices and let it sit on there. They were good to go, and they tasted real good.
Yeah, they look good.
Nice.
All right. Well, we're all going to take a break. We're going to go get something to eat real
Let's
quick.
go eat. I'm making ribs tomorrow, so we'll see them.
Challenge.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, like I said, I just got this smoker last week. I'm going to be every weekend for the next, couple of months anyway.
Yeah.
What am I going to try this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you got any good recipes, send them my way, because I'm always looking to try something different.
All right. Yeah, I've thrown everything. I throw mac and cheese on there.
Yeah. Oh, I was just going to ask you about, you were talking about guitars. The yellow custom guitar you got
Yes.
finished. Yeah. Tell me about that a little bit.
Right.
That sucker looks amazing.
That was handmade by Rob, the bass player in Pop Mechanics.
Mm.
He's a luthier.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
He made it from scratch.
Oh, that's cool.
He carved the neck. He routed the body. We bought the pickup from a local guy in town here who wound it to 1959 Gibson specs.
Oh, cool.
And then bought all the hardware that goes for that era. So it's basically a 59 Junior,
Uh-huh.
but it's new.
Huh.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then he put my nickname is Yangs from high school, so he put Yangs Junior on the headstock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I noticed that.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I think I put that in the promo pic.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guitar is unbelievable.
That must be nice having a luthier in the band.
Oh yeah, he makes he makes basses. He recovers. He's recovered my amps. Built me speaker cabs, guitars. He's built me 2 guitars actually.
Wow.
Fixes anything that breaks.
Yeah.
Modifies pedals.
It's like a music store in your pocket, man.
He's the man.
Wow. Is that like his profession?
I wish it was, but it's not. He used to work at a drum shop, but now he has a regular job, but he's trying to get way more back into it.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a page on Facebook and Instagram. It's called Oddball Woodworks.
All right.
So everything he does is custom made. You should check it out.
Where's he based out of?
He's right south of St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay.
So I would just say it's St. Paul.
He might have a little shipping,
Yeah.
but not bad. Yeah, it's a cool looking piece. Yeah, I love that.
Or we'd bring it down if we come down that way.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we definitely want to see you down here.
Yeah.
You guys play Kansas City quite a bit or whatever, or previously in the before times?
Yeah. I mean, we tried to, we did a couple little, if you want to call them tours, like 4 shows in a row in Kansas City, Lawrence, Manhattan, and then the last show we played in Minneapolis. And then I did the stuff with Truck Stop too. I mean, I love coming down there to play still. It's, it's still home.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So hopefully when this ends, we're talking about putting some sort of 6-band circus thing together. So
Yeah.
to do a show up here and then in Manhattan and then maybe somewhere else.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah. I mean, right now it's just kind of an idea, but it'd be 3 bands from here and then 3 bands from down there.
So what bands are you looking at?
Well, it would be the Pop Mechanics and then Jim's band and the Pop Mechanics, the North Electric, and then Pete, the drummer in the Pop Mechanics, plays in another band called the Rocket Soul Choir.
Right.
And that it would be us 3, and then the Blackbird Fields, Headlight Rivals, and then a band called the Boxed Winos, which is
Right on.
me and Rob, and then the 2 guys from the Blackbird Fields, kind of our little side project we've been working on. So hopefully that works out. That should be fun.
Yeah, you were telling me a little bit about that. You've been doing some work with Rob?
Rob from my band up here, the guy who builds the guitars. And then, have you guys met the guys in the Blackbird Fields? They're from Manhattan.
Have not.
No, but they have been brought up to us.
So it's those 2 guys. I've become really good friends with them.
Mm-hmm.
Great guys. During the pandemic, we just started reaching out to each other, and we've been kind of sending songs back and forth and adding our parts to them.
Uh-huh.
So we've got 2 now that we kind of, if you want to call it, released. We just kind of released them on Instagram and Facebook. So we do have a page on Facebook for the Boxed Winos, so you can listen to the tunes there.
It's a great name. Yeah.
So I thought the name was actually, we were joking, but then we ended up calling the band that. It's kind of a takeoff of Keith Richards' band, The Expensive Winos.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little different. We're trying to go for like the alternative country, no depression kind of sound, which I've always loved. But, Truck Stop had a lot of that mixed in with the other stuff. And
yeah,
I haven't played any of that for a while. So it's kind of been fun doing that again.
Yeah. Last time we had you on, we talked a little bit about that love of Uncle Tupelo, and
right.
It really kind of got me into a Uncle Tupelo kick there for a month or 2. I was just listening to them all the time.
Yeah.
And I forgot how much I really enjoyed them.
Oh, yeah. They're so great. And Sunbolt, too. And
Wilco.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason during this pandemic, I've been listening to a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just posting that earlier today. It's just like, it's great how, it's not just finding new music and stuff doing this show, but like just talking to guests and being reminded of bands that you haven't thought about in a minute,
Right.
And going back and digging up those catalogs and stuff. But yeah, it's nice to talk to people when everybody else is so isolated, because you get stuck in a loop sometimes, man.
Yep.
So have you guys tried any of that, like, the zero latency or super low latency jam sessions together, like online, any of that newer stuff they've come up with?
No, we haven't tried that.
Yeah, there's something out there called Jack Trip right now, but I think you have to have like these little Raspberry Pi devices or something like that.
Oh, do you?
I was talking to John Axtell about it the other night, and I didn't realize this, but it's its own operating system. So you kind of have to have like a separate unit, but these Raspberry Pi things are like super cheap. They're just like these tiny little computers.
Huh. I didn't know all that was involved. Still doesn't sound too bad. What was the latencies, like what, 0.00?
Yeah, it's super low latency.
Yeah, 2 milliseconds or something.
Yeah, Axel said he's working with a kid in Canada doing lessons, and the lag's not bad at all.
Cool. Yeah, because that's been a big problem for people syncing up.
Oh, yeah. When I first got this little audio interface, I could not get that latency to stop. I think we were using BandLab or one of the other ones online.
Mm-hmm. Is that like the software that came with it, or?
Yeah, and I was trying to use my phone or iPad, and I don't think BandLab likes the Apple because I have a laptop now and it seems to work fine with the laptop.
Right on. So it's still going to be a while getting those tracks finalized, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of this we're sending back and forth is going to be like an official. We're still planning on getting together to actually record whenever that will be, to do an official recording.
Right.
Yeah.
Any predictions? I think it's still going to be a minute.
Yeah, we got a while still. Hopefully this year. My expectations have definitely changed.
Yeah.
I mean, one question I've had is like, when you're planning a tour for next year, or a group of shows or whatever, you got so much time in advance knowing that that's like coming up. How fast can you be ready?
Right.
And what do you think you're going to run into, like with, competing for venue or competing for any talk about that?
Yeah, I think the competition's going to be pretty stiff. I mean, it's going to be the bigger name bands are going to get all the gigs.
Yeah.
At first, just because most of them, that's how they make their living, and they're going to draw the most people to the clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a band like us that plays, once a month, we're not going to get priority over those other bands.
Right. I'm booking.
Right.
Yeah. Nathan Calhoun was talking. He's in Austin. So, the music competition scene there.
Right.
But he's like, there's so many medium large bands that are doing really well, but just still play around Austin all the time. It's like they're going to suck up so much from these guys who are just independent here and small bands who are trying to get their, it's like they're going to want to make their money back.
Mm-hmm.
Book that shit way out.
Right.
I don't know. We talked to other people like, the way to go is like, if that's going to be the case, just looking into going back to the element of like the $5 kegger.
Right.
Or, just where you don't need the venue, as an option anyway.
Right. That's what we're talking about with the 6-band circus thing, was an outdoor show maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And just share the drum kit and the bass amp and just have an all-day party.
All right. And get like a little park amphitheater.
I think there's enough smaller clubs in Minneapolis that, I don't know, maybe we won't have any problems getting a show. There's a lot of bands up here, though.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're going to be more of a thing with like people being vaccinated. And, probably if we have nice weather, you're going to see a lot of people having fields being put to use all of a sudden.
Right.
Kind of a liability, though.
Right.
Wow. It's like the old days. I mean, we used to play field parties all the time.
There you go.
House parties, back in the early 90s. And Manhattan didn't really have any clubs.
Yep. I really want to have a show at my house.
You do?
There you go.
I want to have people over so bad.
Didn't we talk about that last time?
Probably.
And you weren't sure your wife would allow it?
Yeah, she won't.
No.
There's no way.
That might have been mine.
Oh, was that you?
Yeah. I was talking about the Descendants, I think, and they were posting something like, I don't remember, just a few $1,000s basically to put a show on. It's like, here's what it costs, here's what we'll do it for. And it's like,
I think I listened to your podcast with Sean and Andrew. I think you mentioned that.
That's probably it. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be it.
That you could pay the Descendants to play your house.
Right.
Yep.
How awesome would that be?
Yeah.
That would be really awesome.
Or get enough people to, pay for it, just kicking in a little bit here and there.
Have you seen them before?
No, that was part of the dream.
Me and Rob drove down to Arkansas when Ultimate Fakebook opened for them 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. That was the best show. One of the best shows I've ever seen, that particular show in Arkansas. They were on fire. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. I've always been a Monster fan. That was just part of the fantasy, I think, of the story, too. Just thinking, like, how cool would it be?
Right.
That the first time I saw them, I paid them to play in my yard.
Oh, that would be great.
It'd be a great story.
I'd drive down for that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
One caveat's like, can I come up and introduce you guys? That'd be great.
Right.
Sure, they'd let me.
They're all super nice guys, too.
Yeah, I
They're all great. I think Bill's pretty tight with Stefan, the guitar player in The Descendants.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. He's played on his record.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. That's how they got the shows.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime they seem to get back together and play shows in the Midwest, they ask them to play with them.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yep.
Yeah. I kind of put them a little bit of a high shelf because I've been a fan. So, it's like one of the first punk bands I really got into.
Yeah.
Right.
Was the Descendants, and like Hallraker Live, I think is still one of my, it's my favorite live album, I think.
Yeah.
Probably of all time. Always will be.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've kept that CD since I was like a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Still in good shape.
Speaking of fake book, Eric was telling me to ask you about the 11 drummers you went through when he briefly left Truck Stop Love.
11?
That's what he said.
I don't think it was 11.
I don't know. He may have exaggerated.
Well, he left to join a band called the Moving Van Goes at the time in Manhattan. I think we had a gig. So we got the guy who played drums in a band called Roach Factory.
Okay.
So he played with us for one gig. And then I think I only had one guy. I had a friend of mine who was learning the drums. So me and Seven enlisted him to play drums with us. And he didn't end up being very good. So it was a rough couple years playing without a decent drummer and not really wanting to kick him out of the band because you're friends with him. And
right.
Yeah.
So eventually I just said, okay, I'm done. Seven was leaving town and the band I thought was done. And at that point, somebody asked me to play a grad party. So I asked Eric if he'd play drums for the one show and another guy in town I knew that played bass. And we had so much fun doing that. We just kept playing. And then eventually it skyrocketed and Brad joined and Matt joined and turned into what Truck Stop Love later became.
So that worked out.
Yeah. If that party wouldn't have happened, the band would have ended.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah. So some friend of ours posted some old videos on YouTube from old Manhattan shows, and that was one of the shows.
How was it?
But sadly, they didn't record us. They missed our set.
Oh, no.
I know.
Ah, shit.
But that was the show that saved the band.
Well,
Or there would have been no Truck Stop Love.
wow. Good documented history right there.
I know. It's weird.
Just blew it.
Huh.
Huh. That's a shame. Now everything's recorded.
Yeah.
Right. Back then it was a VHS camera.
Right. You had to know somebody who had one, hope they show up,
Right.
hope they had a battery, all that shit.
I ended up recording a Godzillionaire show at the record bar a while back.
Oh, yeah.
Before all this started, Cody was trying to set up his phone to live stream, but the battery was about dead. I'm like, I got this. So I just recorded the whole thing, posted it for him. It's still out there.
Good for you.
Sweet.
Thank you for the posterity.
My arm was numb by the end of it, but that was cool.
Oh, you're just holding your phone up the whole time?
Yeah, I was just holding my phone the whole set.
Oh, gosh.
True fan.
I guess.
I wasn't planning on doing it, and if I just sat it somewhere, it wouldn't have looked good.
They should put you in the liner notes.
Yeah.
They might.
They already did.
They did.
They did. Yeah. Put us in there for the show.
Well, I think they put us in there.
Yeah, there's a lot. We're not like top build.
No.
We're a side bench.
We made it.
Yeah.
But we love those guys. They're great guys.
Yeah. Yeah, we played 2 shows with them. The last show's Truck Stop played down there.
Mm-hmm.
We played 2 nights in a row with them.
So this might be like more of a testament to your psyche, but like, let's say tomorrow, reason they drop chemtrails on us, everybody's cured. They say, all right, everything's wide open. What's the first place, not necessarily your dream place, what's the first place you're going for that you're going to try to book?
Is it my yard?
It's Matt's yard.
Well, it might be on the way.
There's a tough question.
I don't know. It might be Animes in Manhattan, the old basement bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to go to that place. I need to check that out. It's kind of legendary.
It's awesome.
Where's this?
In Manhattan.
Oh.
Yeah, if you look at
The cover of the Headlight Rivals record is taken on the sidewalk right outside of it.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Okay. I haven't hung out enough in Kansas.
No, Manhattan's a haul from Columbia.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So with Truck Stop Love, I know when we were talking to Sean and Andy, Eric had mentioned it to me too, that you guys are working on just selling all the records right now that you've got for the Truck Stop Love. You found some old tapes. Is that right?
Right.
And trying to put out a new record?
Yeah, a new record of stuff that was done basically post our record deal. That demos we did with Jim Kriego playing guitars and not after Matt left.
Mm-hmm.
So everything we did, we recorded demos, everything. That's all. I think that's all on Bandcamp now. It's that thing. I think you bought it, didn't you, John? The whole deal?
Yeah. You guys had a deal one weekend where it was like an entire catalog. And I was like, yeah.
Right. So I think that's everything. All the demos, stuff we never obviously made a record. But we did do a batch of like fairly decent demos with Jim.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what we want to do next.
Try and get that out on vinyl.
Yeah. Because we sold enough of the other record to make all the money back from it and more. I mean, I don't know how close we are to having enough to do another record, but.
Right.
Yeah. John and I both have that other one.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good record, man. It sounded good.
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah, our buddy remastered everything for us. He did a really good job, especially with some of the quality of the demo tapes we had.
Yeah, I mean, I think we heard a little bit of that from Black Site. They were like, yeah, it was kind of rough, but boy, they, fixed it up pretty good.
Well, hell, we recorded it ourselves on an old reel-to-reel tape,
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's kind of the whole point. It's a demo. I mean, that's that's why I love that shit too.
Right.
It sounds real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think also like Bandcamp did a deal at that time which I love, is like giving me like a partial credit for all the shit I already bought that was TSL. And they're like, okay, so and then you can add this portion on.
Oh, sweet.
And that was nice. Not having to repurchase.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah.
Saved a little bit there, but still, it was well worth it, man. Glad to just own everything in the catalog. But how was like the Bandcamp free Fridays and shit?
That's today.
That's today.
You guys finding that helpful?
I think Sean said PayPal still charges you their fees, even though.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, Bandcamp.
That's good to know.
You get your 2% or whatever they take. I don't even know how much it is.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Just like how much exactly is it to get, how much do they take? And is it really, anything more is better.
It's 2 or 5% or something like that Bandcamp takes, I believe.
Yeah. Well, 5% is 5%, man.
Right. I mean, if you're selling a lot of records, it probably makes a little bit of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you're not selling any.
Look at all the money I'm saving not being spent by anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of all that, I just put out, when we moved, we pulled out a bunch of tapes of my dad's, and they were old cassettes, and it's just him with this, handheld cassette recorder, the old school little rectangular things.
Mm-hmm.
And I did my best to kind of remaster them, if you do even call it that. But I put those out on Bandcamp too. They turned out sounding better than I expected them to.
Yeah, they did.
Technology, man, that's a pretty amazing thing. But yeah, I somebody like bought, and they didn't. I put it out there for free, mostly just so like family could hear it and shit, or anyone else that wanted to. But yeah, I noticed like, wow, they took a little bit of a chunk out of there when somebody made a donation.
Did it cost you anything to put it up?
No.
Well, that's cool anyway,
It's a good service. I like Bandcamp.
Yeah.
They got to keep it on.
Right.
I know it costs something to keep it going.
Well, yeah, because you can put your records and your T-shirts and everything up there to sell.
Yeah, the merch and shit, yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that I have a criticism of is because I do a lot of Bandcamp, like Matt sent me like a gift card.
Right.
For Bandcamp, and people have sent me gift cards for Bandcamp because they're, because they know I'm talking about it all the time. But there's some items it won't let you purchase, and I don't know if it's a setting. And I've talked to a couple of people that I bought records from, and like, I wasn't aware you couldn't do that. But like, if you get like a $20 gift card or whatever to Bandcamp, it won't necessarily let you buy like a T-shirt or merch. It's like, oh, this only works for
nothing physical,
right? It's like digital download only, whatever. I think $20.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think you should be able to spend that $20 any way you want.
You would think.
Or put it towards something, but no. It's like some things are only directly through like your card or your PayPal or like that. Won't take the gift card.
So if you buy somebody's record, you get the download for free.
Right.
you know,
Right.
if you buy the vinyl.
Right. So the gift card will still work for a download, but if you buy the vinyl, you have to put it on your credit card or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the free download. So
there you go.
You're right.
And you've still got a $20 gift card left over.
Yep.
right.
Forever, because you can't spend it. Yeah, I always find something to spend it on. Downloads or,
My problem is there's too much I want to buy on there.
Yeah, that's a problem with a lot of things.
Oh, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because I always want to buy the record, the vinyl.
Right.
Yeah, I like having vinyl, and I've got so many fucking people that we talk to on here, and I want all of their shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want to buy everybody's stuff.
And if I buy more than like one record a month,
No.
Yeah.
so it's like, fuck, I want to buy all of them, and I'm talking to 4 people, generally a month, and the math doesn't work very well for that. So I hate that I haven't purchased a lot of stuff that I really want to.
Yeah, and you can't hide it on the debit card, because I've tried. I've come down to just flat out lying. Like Rich, you sent me you sent me that Pop Mechanics record, and I was like, "Hey, check out what Rich Yarges sent me." And my wife's like, "Oh, cool." And it's like, yeah, I didn't charge me anything. Just sent for me. Just super nice.
It's just being
Yeah,
nice.
isn't that cool? And she's like, yeah, that is cool. And now I'll get another record and be like, hey, look at what Conan Neutron sent me.
Oh, so you're playing that card now, huh?
Right. I know she's not going to listen. So that's the only reason I'm saying. She won't listen to the show anyway. So, but yeah, but I'll say technically, look what Conan Neutron sent me. I won't say in exchange for U.S. currency, $25.95.
Nice. Rich, where's my free record? Damn it, man.
Well, send me your address. I'll mail you one. I got 250 of them sitting right by right now.
No, I do want that record.
I think, as a matter of fact, that's how it came about. I did not solicit it, by the way.
No, you didn't.
I was just posting randomly on Facebook. I think it was just that I was saying, damn it, I wish that, I could spend this gift card.
Oh, I think it was.
It was that very thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then Richard just like, I'll send you a Pop Mechanics record. And I was like, no, you don't have to do it. He's like, yeah, I do. They're coming out of my ears. He's like,
Right.
He's like, I'll send you one. Send me a bunch of swag too. That was cool. The guitar picks and stickers and shit. I've got them all over my porch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great day. Thanks for that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing I need to start asking people for, more swag that I can just put all over my little studio closet.
Yeah. Well, I always offer to buy it first, but yeah, I love stickers, shit like that. People love that. They eat it up. Fans more than you think they do. Like stickers, guitar picks. Yeah. Little things, throw a patch in there, whatever. Oh, we love that. Makes us feel special.
Cool.
My 12-year-old daughter knows your name, so that says a lot.
Well, there you go.
Because there's stickers all over my house.
That's great.
Who's Rich Yarges? Look at him up, man. He's great.
Like, you'll be hearing them soon.
Yeah.
On the record player in the house. You run away. But nothing Dad listens to is cool anyway, so.
No, never.
No. I'd have to sit here and watch videos of YouTube influencers in order to be cool.
I hate that shit. My kid's got banned from YouTube. He's too much of an addict.
Smart move. Well, I say that, but YouTube, it's a wide-ranging thing, of course. There could be plenty of things on there, educational, great, and whatever, but I know the YouTube you're talking about, and they should be banned from it.
Right. The unsupervised YouTube, we'll put it that way.
Right. I told her I didn't want to watch her play video games tonight while I was trying to unwind and watch some TV, and she's like, oh, you're just going to watch some crap from ancient history. Oh, look at you. You're looking at a movie from 2017. My God. Way back then. It's like, good grief, child. It's like, they didn't even release any movies last year.
That's just true.
Yeah, you're talking just 2 years old, basically. No, it wasn't. It was 4 years ago. It's like, no, it's only March.
You know what? I really have figured out your perspective changes as you get older. There are things that don't seem old to me that I realize when I was a kid would have been ancient.
Yeah, I think some of that changed just too with the internet and with information culture. There's the fact I just think that when we were older, when things were 10 years old, they weren't as old. to kids now when something is 10 years old.
Right, because technology's changed so much faster now.
Right.
I mean, just think within, in the 90s, within 10 years, everybody had a phone and a computer.
Yeah.
Where 10 years before that, we didn't have any of that.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Anything 90s forward feels contemporary to me, basically.
It does. And I think even kids in the 90s who were music snobs or whatever, if you listen to a record that was 4 or 5 years old, it was still considered a pretty new record, especially in the Midwest where we couldn't get a hold of everything. But nobody looked down at their nose at you and said, ew,
right,
you're listening to a record from 2019.
Well, I've mentioned this before. I remember driving through St. Louis and we were just flipping through the channels on the radio and locked into an oldies station, and then like Alice in Chains played on an oldies station.
Oh God.
I just lost my shit. No, this is not an oldies. And my wife's like, that song's like 25 years old. What the? You're right. God damn it. It was very disturbing for me.
But I think that category's changed. I think even when they used to list oldies when we were younger, it was songs were 50 years old.
50s. Yeah. It was 50s stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Or at least like 30, 40 years old when we were younger. And it was like, yeah, the oldies was just defined as like, songs of like the 50s and early 60s. And even when you got into 70s, and that might have been a 20-year-old record, wasn't, well, that was classic rock.
Right.
Yeah, it's different.
What disturbs me is thinking how I am closer to the 50s than my kid is to the 80s, like time-wise.
I'm going to say shit like that.
Because that shit just pops into my head. And like in my head, I remember being a kid, the 50s was like fucking ancient.
Hang on, my mic came unplugged.
We now pause for technical difficulties.
Oh, sorry.
You back?
Rich, you going to play us like a musical interlude while John's fixing?
Yeah, I reared my head back to laugh a little bit. I unplugged my earphones. What did I miss?
We were talking about what we're going to do for your birthday.
Well, I hear the Descendants play pretty cheap. I don't think they'll do it in December in the backyard.
Probably not.
I think it all came down to that whole Descendants party was porta potties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my wife was like, where are all these people going to piss?
That's right.
Like, that's a good point.
You got a dried up creek bed in the back. You can just use that.
Yeah, that's true. It flows half the year.
It'll be fine.
Come spring, it'll wash it all away.
There won't be a smell.
We didn't even think about the noise or anything else. We're just like, where are people going to go to the bathroom? We can't let them in our house.
Nope, you can't.
No.
We were just talking about one of your stories, the show in Dallas.
Oh, the MTV thing?
Yeah, the MTV thing. Yeah.
Right.
Who was that with?
That was what, the Toadies?
The Toadies.
No, I mean, who were we talking to? I think it was Fuzz McGee.
Oh.
You saw that Toadies tour.
Yeah.
Anything to add that you remember?
I don't know. I mean,
it was what it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of our memorable shows for sure.
We talked to Lisa Umbarger about it later.
Yeah.
She had like a completely different memory of it than you guys did.
Different take on it. Yeah.
She's just like, I don't even remember. I don't think I remember that show. It's like
they just told us we were doing it. We weren't really thinking anything about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember seeing them until like right before they were supposed to play.
Yeah.
So she's probably right.
Yeah.
They showed up at the last minute and.
Yeah. And I don't think that was like a prima donna thing.
Right.
I think that was just like, they didn't know they were supposed to even go over there.
Right.
And it was like, get over here and you're going to play this shit. And I'm like, okay, where are we? Let's go.
Right.
Did you check out Truck Stop Love?
Oh, yeah.
Those guys are drunk.
Yeah, we played pretty good. At least I thought we did. Yeah, we had a few crazy where we just kind of stepped in. We did the Tom Petty tribute thing that our label put out, and we got to play at the House of Blues in L.A.
Oh, right.
With Everclear and a bunch of other of the indie bands at the time.
Get to hang out with those guys?
We did. We actually played quite a few shows with Everclear.
You did?
Nice.
We played early days with them, I think in Chicago, and then that was probably 93, and then 94 94, I think we did the Tom Petty show with them. And then summer of 95, we did a little East Coast tour with them and a band called Ruth.
Ruth.
Super nice guys, all of them. The Everclear guys always treated us really good. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Everybody says Art's just like the nicest guy.
Yeah, no, they were.
We've had Freddie on, who's their current bass player, and he was in the X's.
Right.
And he's seriously probably top 10 nicest people we've ever had on the podcast. Top 5.
Super sweet guy.
They're still playing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they did like if you want to call it an oldies tour with Fastball. Was that last year or the year before, maybe?
I don't know. Yeah, I do keep seeing shit come up just because I follow them coming up on my phone for like tour dates and potential upcomings.
Yeah.
Andy Padlin, who we just had on, who plays guitar for Sponge now, says they've toured quite a bit together, festivals and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So is there any kind of music scene in Columbia anymore?
You know, I always tell people one of the big issues with it is a college town. It's a lot of town and gown. For those who don't know, it's like the city is what, man, like 80 to 100,000 people at any given time.
Maybe a little more.
Maybe a little more. And then that drops significantly when all the students leave.
Right.
So you've got all these bands that it's rare to have a band that just stays local and circulating. 'Cause a lot of them are college kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They'll move on, they'll get jobs, they'll go to other places. So, but the scene that is here and the bands that are established here and from here, I think are really great.
There's some good bands.
Okay.
Many Colored Death.
The Many Colored Death.
Don't Mind Dying.
Yeah, lots of bands with death and dying in their names.
We just talked to English Brown, who's trying to kind of get a foothold there.
Yeah.
So is it a specific style or is it?
It's kind of all over the place. I mean, you're always going to have that influence of Missouri and you're going to have like folk.
Right.
That thing's going to go on. Plus the college thing. I mean, prog rock is good metal here. As far as like heavy metal, I've seen some great bands here for that genre, but they come and go due to that town and gown thing. But a lot of bands that have a little bit of mix of folk and stuff in there, with the exception of those two bands like the Many Colored Death and Don't Mind Dying, who are kind of prog.
Okay.
You see a lot of that. And that's not, to say they're not great. I mean, they really are. But a scene is hard to nail down here.
Yeah, I'm sure it's similar to Manhattan in that way.
Right.
But we've got some good venues here. Only a couple, but we've got some good ones.
Blue Note.
Blue Note's still open? I was going to ask you that.
Yep.
Okay.
Blue Note's still open. I don't know if you guys played Mojo's when you were through here.
I don't remember. No, we played the Blue Note several times. Can't remember the other smaller places we played there.
Yeah. Mojo's was kind of like a smaller honky-tonk kind of the sister bar.
Mm-hmm.
To the Blue Notes back off of downtown a little bit, but they've expanded a lot. Now they've got this big like outdoor park amphitheater type thing, and they've got an outdoor stage.
It's become much more of a go-to place in Columbia than it used to be.
Yeah. A lot of people are playing there, and because you can play there indoor or outdoor, depending on the crowd size. But if you've got to play outdoor at the Blue Note, you've got to play outside, and they got to shut down 9th Street. So you've got all those permits and everything else like that. But we have a cool 9th Street Summerfest every year that goes on.
Yeah.
We shut down 9th Street for some action. We had Snoop Dogg, Willie Nelson. We've had
Weird Al. That one was good.
Weird Al,
my label mate.
There you go.
That's right. I never thought about that. Scotty Brothers.
That's right.
You have any Weird Al stories? You ever do anything with him?
Oh, yeah. So when we were recording our EP in LA, he was recording Alapalooza, I believe,
okay.
in the other studio.
Nice.
So we were there one night late, and I think I fell asleep on the couch out in the cafeteria at the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric, I think it was Eric and Brad, went and knocked on Weird Al's studio door and had him come wake me up. So I'm laying on the couch and he wakes me up and I look up and his like nose is on my nose and it's Weird Al looking at me. If you can imagine that, waking up and there's Weird Al like, an inch from you.
Yeah.
I would just be convinced I'm still asleep and having a really fucked up dream.
Yeah.
He was super nice. You think he'd be like kind of a spazzy guy? Nah, super calm. And I think that night he had a bunch of hot chicks in there playing kazoo on his record. or something like that. At least that's the story we remember.
Right.
Yeah, he was super nice. That's the only Weird Al story I have.
Makes you wonder how necessary that kazoo was.
Right.
He's a talented dude.
Yeah.
He is.
I don't think he would have lasted as long as he had or has.
Well, no, and I think that record was after one he did the parody of Nevermind.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that one, that was his biggest one, or one of his bigger records, I think.
Yeah, I remember the album title. I didn't get to see Weird Al here. Nice Street Summerfest, we still had Primus, and you went to that Primus show here, didn't you, Matt?
I had to work.
Oh, that's right.
I wanted to.
Saw Chuck Berry there.
No shit.
Yeah. That was what? I don't know, Matt, 6-7 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, one of my buddies called me, and I was working and going to school at night, and he was like, "Man, Chuck Berry's coming to Nice Street Summerfest," and I was like, "Well, I better."
Gotta go see that.
Yeah.
It was Chuck Berry.
Yeah, it's like I better before I don't have the chance anymore.
Yeah.
I remember.
He could still shred. He could still, his pipes sounded great.
Right.
Only little drawback was when he duck walked, he did like one pump, It was like that. And then everybody was like, wow.
Oh, yeah. He was like 85 years old.
Yeah.
And everybody just went ape shit. They were like, woo. And he was like, yeah, that's enough of that. And quit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It can be a little bit hard to see aging legends sometime.
Yeah, that's true.
I saw Dylan, but a couple of years ago. Talked to Matt Chamberlain about that because he was actually playing on that tour. But Bob's only move that he had was like a shuffle. He just kind of just shuffle himself forward and backwards, and his feet didn't even leave the ground. You could just tell if he lifted his feet, he might fall over.
Yeah.
I felt a little bit bad.
Right.
Still sounded good, though.
He sounded like Dylan. It was funny. The guy in front of us, I told this story. The guy in front of us got all pissed off and he left early and he was like, I'm out of here. Sound quality's terrible. You can't understand anything he's singing. And I was just like, this is Bob Dylan, man. Since when has anyone understood anything that came out of that dude's mouth?
Right.
Back in his heyday, he had to hold up cue cards. I do try to, catch those legends when I can.
Right.
You never know.
There's definitely been a few I've missed. Chuck Berry one. I think when I was in high school, he played a free concert at Worlds of Fun there in Kansas City.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't go.
Oh, man.
Kicking myself forever for not going to that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you ever blow through here and do want to play a show in Columbia, though, I'd recommend Rose Music Hall.
I haven't played in Columbia for shit. It's probably been 95 was the last time.
It's time, man.
For it is.
Well, almost. Not quite.
Hopefully we'll get there soon.
Is Minnesota as weird as Missouri is? Maybe it's probably a little bit more blue up there, but I can imagine it's still a lot of rural area.
It is. It's blue in the cities, and then there's up north where they call the Iron Range, where there used to be a lot of taconite mining up there.
Uh-huh.
That used to be more blue because there was a lot of unions.
Right.
But now it's kind of flipping to red where it's sometimes it's closer to turning red than blue a lot. I mean, we do have Republican senators and congressmen
right
up here. I mean, it's like Missouri. You get out in the sticks and they don't call them rednecks or hillbillies up here. They're called yahoos.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Same mentality, though.
Oh, yeah. You mean you see rebel flags up here? I'm like, what in the fuck? Can't be more of a Yankee, right, than Minnesota?
Right.
It doesn't get farther north.
Right. It's just like, I don't get it.
No, that's kind of weird. So do pop mechanics have a union?
Jim's in a union. I don't know. Is there a musicians union?
Nah, I don't know. Surely there is.
I don't know.
Gotta be. We can start one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finance the next record.
Right. Just take people's dues. Pretend union.
And I wish the U.S. were better at shit like that, though, like funding arts and helping them out. Like I have mixed feelings. Sometimes we'll talk to people. We've got a fair number of international friends, and they're all working on getting their grants and funding through the government. And
okay.
And I'm like, yeah, go for it. I feel you. I'm with you. totally, and I am. But at the same time, I'm like, fuck, I wish we did more of that here.
Yeah.
All right, that's even a possibility for them. I'm jealous of that.
Right.
We have those here, I guess, but I nobody gets them, and I don't know if anybody applies for them. You ever applied for any of those, like through the National Endowment of the Arts? Or
No, I don't know any musician for sure that's got any kind of a grant for anything.
Mm-hmm.
I guess maybe we didn't know you could even apply for it. Maybe you could.
Yeah, there's always like the National Endowment for the Arts, but I mean, hell, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, how much has that been defunded now, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody ever, even way back when, ever applied for anything like that. It's always like, you know, maybe a visual artist or some designer.
Sculptor or something, yeah.
Right, making furniture or whatever, some major company. But yeah, I don't know a musician who ever got an endowment.
Yeah.
Definitely not like a rock musician or like...
No.
Yeah, anything like that.
No, I wish we did that here. I'm glad they do it other places, and I'm jealous that they have that. And I know that there's still more that needs to be done there, but I wish we had. I wish I were in a position to help out with that shit more.
Yeah. Keep offering, and maybe the money will just come.
Well, I mean, you guys kind of are. I mean, you're having people on, and
we're trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy records, but
we buy records and we promote shit.
Right.
Yeah.
We do our part, I suppose. But yeah, it doesn't feel like it's enough.
Yeah. I wish I was one of those trust kids who was just sitting on a big lump and just, that's what I do. You know, everybody else gets plenty of shit. That's what I put it into.
Well, Rich, we've been bending your ear for a while. Is there anything that you want to kind of pimp out or talk about that we haven't touched on yet?
No, not really. I mean, we talked about, you know, the new kind of project and the Boxed Winos, and I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah.
No, I want to hear that.
Yeah.
I do too. The name just makes me giggle. I just think it's funny.
Well, the joke is the other guy who's going to play guitar in the band, he drinks boxed wine all the time too. So,
right.
Nice.
So it fits.
You can come up with your own novelty brand.
Yeah.
Right. See if you can find. There any good Minnesota wineries?
I don't know. There's a lot of good breweries, I know. I'm not sure about wineries.
Yeah. I bet grapes have a hard time up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to hit the belt around here.
Yeah, they probably do.
But you guys can like wear the boxes as hats or something to do a gimmick.
No, our buddies in Columbia, Don't Man Dying, got their own beer.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, really?
In Columbia.
That's cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Logboat Brewing Company. Shout out to them.
Awesome.
For not sponsoring us.
Wow.
Not that I ever reached out to them.
Taking a shot?
Yeah, we've done so much to reach out to.
They should just know that I like their beer.
I have a sticker in my studio. Speaking of stickers.
I think everybody around here is but you should, because it's a great brewery. It's good beer. But yeah, they got a beer made for them. Well, maybe I should reach out to them.
Yeah. Maybe they'll make one for you.
Maybe.
Undetermined beer.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, let's rush out and drink that.
Yeah. What's this beer called? It's undetermined.
It's a different one every time.
That's right. It's whatever was left in the bottom of the barrel.
Right. It just comes, we scrape it out, and that's it.
It's the suicide of beers.
And Matt and John are cool with that. So we decided to make some money. They gave us the artwork for free. And no, they have higher standards, I'm sure. Great beer. What's your favorite brewery up there?
Shoot.
I'm asking you to discriminate.
I don't know. I guess, well, we have Summit, which is kind of like Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've had Summit.
I think they're kind of good temporaries. And there's tons of little small breweries too.
Mm-hmm.
Surly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my favorite would be.
Boulevard's gotten so big, huge now.
Yeah.
They got bought out though too.
Right.
Who bought them?
I don't know. Somebody rich.
Well, I think that big Belgian conglomerate that buys all the other ones.
InBev or one of the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Budweiser is no more.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's still Budweiser, but what was it? Yeah, I think they were InBev. They were Belgians. About that.
Yeah, that one was.
Yeah, same guys who makes Stella Artois. What's about Budweiser? I don't know. Don't think you'd taste much difference there anyway.
Yeah.
On the Budweiser front.
Oh, Seven said, love you. Forgot to throw that little thing out there.
Tell him you love him too.
Love you too, 7.
There you go. Don't leave him hanging.
He's awesome.
Nah, he's a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
We need to get him back on too. I'm sure he's got a lot of stories. We want to get more of his Seattle stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, he don't share a lot of those.
Yeah. I think he's got some non-disclosures.
He might.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah.
He designed our logo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It's pretty badass.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, I've got to get sweatshirts made of those. Well, I say sweatshirts. Me and Matt have one.
Yeah, John sent me one for Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's a great present. It's really comfy too.
And 7's getting one too. So, yeah, since he designed it.
Cool.
Actually, I got 7s.
Oh, dear. They sent it the wrong place?
Yeah, because it didn't fit him. It wasn't the right size for him, but it was the right size for me. So I got like the shirt that he didn't get.
Oh, well, they got straightened out. Didn't they get him another one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good. Got to make sure he does, since it was his artwork and everything. But yeah, that was amazing. It's great to see. Just one day he was like, hey man, drew this up just for shits and giggles. And wow.
Yeah, it's very cool. I need to print that up.
Yeah, I was like, what do I owe you for licensing? It's like, no. It's just yours. You just have it. It's like, yeah, it's like a full on. Yeah, I think I might even get that one tattooed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's that good.
I kind of feel sorry for the artist that was put that on you, though.
Yeah,
it's pretty detailed.
It is. I got a couple I know, though, who would like doing it because it's also really cool work and it's really colorful and stuff. So, and on my really pasty skin, color looks great. They're just like, oh, man, yeah, you're a canvas.
All right.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to have to get that one under ink, I think. Unless Matt does something that really pisses me off.
Nah, it would still be cool, even if I am an asshole.
Right. Wouldn't be a big surprise.
On that note, this has been Undetermined, the podcast. It was nice knowing you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning into our final episode. So what's the next steps? What are you doing in the studio next? Just going to keep plugging along writing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. Buying gear.
Buying gear.
Writing.
Right on.
What's the next gear purchase?
Well, I just bought a 65 Fender Deluxe amp.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what I'll buy next.
I got a question for you. What do you think about those Fender 3 Mustangs? The amp.
I don't know. I don't really know that much about them.
You haven't checked them out or anything?
It's an amp? Is it a practice amp or is it a...
It's got it. Well, I mean, it's not a gigging amp. It's got a 10 in it. I want to say it's like a 60 or no, it's not a 60. It's like a 30 watt or for you, it'd be a practice amp. For me, it'd be a living room Rockstar amp. But it just has all the presets in it and shit. And I don't know if I really want to go with that.
Oh.
Yeah, it seems to cause problems after a while.
Yeah, I kind of stick to the more simple tube stuff. Or how much are they?
Like $300.
Yeah.
200 to 300.
You might be better just getting a Vox AC4. It's a tube amp, so it's like a real amp.
Like a real amp, yep.
But it's only like 4 watts. And a small speaker.
Right.
It'd sound better, but unless you want the presets, I'm assuming it's like a modeling type thing where it models different sounds and...
You're right.
Yeah.
You can mix different things and you plug in your pedal to it and cross those over with it.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm getting enough pedals and shit that I don't necessarily need those presets with, it's just got a good gain. And
right.
I don't want it to be, honeytone quiet.
No.
I want to be able to hear it, but Vox makes some really good shit.
Yep.
Might have to look into that.
You can pick one of those up for a couple $100 on Reverb, 200 or 300.
The AC4, you say?
Yep.
I'll look into it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what everybody tells me to do. Just go with the 15 watt or less or whatever. If you ever needed to crank it, you can mic it up.
Yeah, I don't use anything. I mean, I think this one I just bought 20 some amps.
Huh.
I used to have like a Fender Twin.
Yeah.
That was louder than hell. And then I had one of which I regret I ever got rid of. I had a Sobtech 100 watt half stack that I sold back in the late 90s. And I wish I would have never sold that. But, who needs a 100 watt half stack?
I do. I need something.
I did then.
Yeah.
But I don't now. Although I still wish I had it.
Yeah.
I have a Dr. Z Monza. It's a little 20 watt head. I actually bought that from Eric in the Headlight Rivals and a Marshall 2x12 that runs through.
Yeah.
So that's my big amp if I really want to get loud.
Yeah.
But usually I just use I have a Vox AC-15 too that I play a lot.
I think I'm willing to sacrifice some loudness for some cleanliness.
Right.
You know, I'm just sick of like the crates and shit that hum or buzz and, you know.
Family might appreciate that too.
Yeah. Probably. That's why I had that Epiphone plugged in.
There's nothing wrong with small amps.
I'm getting convinced of that more and more.
I mean, all the big, like Tom Petty and those guys, they use like amps like the Deluxe. They don't use any big 100-watt half stacks or anything like that.
Stacks or anything.
Neither does Keith Richards. He just uses old Fender amps. Then that way they can turn them up and get them to break up a little bit, get them to sound warm.
Right.
And, you get a 100-watt Marshall and you got to turn it all the way up.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Unless you got some sort of pedal that you're using.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're not going to roll a 100-watt Marshall into like Annie Mae's,
No, I'm not geeking anyway.
Well, you never know.
Well, you never know.
You might.
But I think Matt's right. More than anything in my family will appreciate it.
John doesn't have a basement.
No. Nope. I take over the whole corner of my main living room with the studio with guitars everywhere and shit. And my wife just keeps him off the streets.
Yeah.
I don't know why she puts up with it, honestly.
We need more rugs in my house. Like the basement is cool. My kid's got his drum set in there, but like it's just like hardwood floors everywhere, so it's real thin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Between the basement and the upstairs, you can hear everything.
Right.
So we need to invest in rugs.
Oh, it's so weird that I haven't even been to your house.
Yeah, I know.
You've been there for so long.
Since Thanksgiving.
Soon, man.
Soon.
You've had your vaccine.
Rich, you're invited too. I got a fully stocked bar.
Yeah.
Got a smoker we just talked about.
Yeah.
I'm set for company.
Big yard to play in.
The circus party.
The circus party.
6-band circus.
I think that's a good move too, as far as like the 6-band thing when you're talking about competition for early breaking shows too.
Right.
People are going to go to that bigger bill.
Yeah.
They might.
I would.
Even if it's 6 bands you never heard of from out of town.
Right.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, because another thing is it's not just the music. People are going to want to party,
Yeah.
That's true.
They've been locked down for so long. They may, hour and a half long show with one billed act. And maybe like, look at this one. There's an all day.
Right. It's true.
Yep.
Some all day rock and roll going on over here. All that.
Yeah.
Smart move, man. Glad to see people being innovative, thinking it through.
Yep. We'll get there soon.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing you when we can, man.
Yeah.
We'll let you know when we head down there again.
All right.
Definitely. Yeah. Keep in touch, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Right on.
We'll keep up with you, and I'm going to look forward to my record.
All right.
Keep us posted, man, though. Seriously, we want to hear what's going on.
I will. Hopefully we get that Truck Stop Love record out here in the next year or so.
Yeah. I really want to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, apparently I can on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
But I want the vinyl.
Yeah. You want the vinyl.
Absolutely.
It's so fun to look at the pictures and the jackets. I don't even know how we had CDs for so long.
Yeah.
Can't even read them.
No.
Nope.
Yep. I prefer the tactile, the big. Yeah. They're just great to have. Love records.
Yep.
Well, you guys want to wrap it up?
Sure.
Yeah, we've been listening to Undetermined, the podcast, with our special guest for the night, Rich Yarges of...
Who? Me? Rich?
I was just letting... Yeah.
Rich Yarges of Truck Stop Love and the Pop Mechanics.
And the Pop Mechanic.
Yes.
And the Boxed Winos.
And the Boxed Wine.
And the Boxed Winos, the new addition there. We definitely want to check that out, too. Thanks so much for joining us, Rich. We had a good time, man.
You bet.